What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tyler. I'm glad you can join me on this afternoon for another very important AMC video. So we're going to be going over this article which says here is what hedge funds think about AMC Entertainment Holdings, and for the most part this article is very bullish. So I think this is information that you guys should be made aware about, as well as we're going to go over the specific 13F filings from hedge funds that are actually buying into AMC stock and give you guys the data and the history from before we went through this gamma squeeze last time, going from $12 to almost $80, and how many hedge funds and institutions were buying into the stock right before we did see this gamma squeeze. So I think this is very important. This will give us a clear heads up of when we should expect a short squeeze as well as a large gamma squeeze. So your guys' time is valuable just like mine. If you want to see AMC stock go straight to the moon, make sure to smash that like button as well as comment down below. Let me know what your plan is to do with your AMC position and how many shares you do currently own, as well as consider subscribing to the channel if you like this video. But with that, let's get into it. Like I said, the title of this article is here is what hedge funds think about AMC Entertainment Holdings. Is AMC Entertainment Holdings a good place to invest some of your money right now? We can gain invaluable insight to help us answer that question by studying the investment trends of top investors who employ world-class Ivy League graduates who are given immense resources and industry contacts to put their financial expertise to work. The top picks of these firms has historically outperformed the market when we account for known risk factors, making them very valuable investment ideas. Now, this part is not very important, so we're going to skip past that. We're going to go straight to the good stuff. This says, do hedge funds think AMC is a good stock to buy now? At the end of the first quarter, a total of 19 of the hedge funds tracked by Insider Monkey held long positions in the stock, a change of 19% from the previous quarter. Below, you can check out the change in hedge fund sentiment towards AMC over the last 23 quarters. With hedge funds capital changing hands, there exists a select group of noteworthy hedge fund managers who are adding to their stakes substantially or already accumulated large positions. As you guys can see from this chart, we were declining pretty consistently from 2015 down to this low that we did see at about 8%, if I do look at this chart correctly, at about 8% with AMC positions, and then now we have bounced back up to almost 20%. So this is definitely good. We are on an uptrending pattern, and this is very important when we were talking about the short squeeze and the gamma squeeze, because like I said in the beginning of this video, last time around we seen hedge funds, institutions loading up on AMC stock right before we did get a short squeeze and a gamma squeeze. So getting into this a little bit more, it says, according to Insider Monkey's hedge fund database, Ken Griffin's Citadel Investment Group has the largest call position in AMC Entertainment Holdings Inc., worth close to $42 million, comprised less than 0.1% of its total 13F portfolio. So a very small amount of Citadel's portfolio. As we do know, they control over $400 billion in assets. So it's a very low amount, but relative to the other hedge fund institutions' call positions in AMC, this is actually the largest, which I was pretty astonished to actually see that myself. But it says coming into second is 683 Capital Partners, managed by Ari Zyman, which holds a 29 million call position. The fund has 1.5% of its 13F portfolio invested in the stock, so that is a substantial amount. 1.5% in call options that potentially could expire worthless is a very large amount, and this shows you an even more bullish sentiment towards the stock from 683 Capital Partners. But other peers that hold long positions encompasses D.E. Shaw's D.E. Shaw, Ken Griffin Citadel Investment Group, and Daniel S. Osh's OZ Management. In terms of the portfolio weights assigned to each position, 683 Capital Partners allocated the biggest weight to AMC Entertainment Holdings, around 1.53% of its 13F portfolio. Arbiter Partners Capital Management is also relatively very bullish on the stock, dishing out 0.26% of its 13F equity portfolio to AMC. And for a large amount, or for a large portfolio, to have even a 0.5% in one stock, especially in call options, is a very bullish thing, especially 1.53%. That is extremely bullish if you stand to lose 1.53% of your whole portfolio if these calls did expire worthless. So I think we do have some heavyweights on our back here, but we will get into the fintel data in just 1 second. So the rest of this article is pretty lengthy, and it just goes into say a lot of things you don't need to know about, that a lot of hedge funds, institutions are very bullish on AMC, like we already did go over. And as this chart does suggest, the actual institutional ownership is increasing, and I do expect this to increase in the second quarter of 2021 once we do get all of the 13F filings that are in for these hedge funds and institutions. But let's get into the fintel data, give you guys the actual numbers of who is buying the stock, how many of them are buying the stock, who is selling the stock, and also who is shorting the stock, because this is very important. Like we'll go over, first things first, that the actual institutional owners just piled into the stock before we did see that squeeze between June 1st and June 3rd, and even after June 3rd, we did see a lot of firms still buying the stock. So as far as the last sell that we did see before the actual gamma squeeze, like I said, between June 1st and June 3rd, was on May 18th. That was Glenmid Trust Co. Glenmid. A lot of these names are just really strange and hard to pronounce, but that was on May 18th. Regardless of that, we did not see a single sell, not even after the squeeze, until July 9th, and that was by John W. Broker and Co. So you've seen a lot of buying going in right before we did see this gamma squeeze, which is very important to understand. We're gonna see a lot of buying from hedge funds and institutions, and a lot of this was for a lot of shares. You see almost 11 million shares here, almost 12.5 million shares here, 500,000 shares here, 9.1 million shares right here, 4.2 million shares. The list goes on and on. So there's a lot of big positions that we're getting into this right before the actual short squeeze and gamma squeeze did start. But as far as right now, we are seeing more firms that are just holding onto their position and actually buying more and starting new positions in AMC stock rather than selling out of these positions, which is a great thing to be seeing. Now, I don't know when the short squeeze is going to happen. I don't know when a gamma squeeze is going to happen. So keep that in mind. This is going to take some time to evolve and actually be reflected in these 13F filings. But from the start of it, it does look very good to see about a 10-to-1 ratio of about 9 firms that are buying into the stock, where you'll have about 1 that is selling out of the stock. So I think this is huge bullish sentiment. Like I said, we did see this happen before we actually did see the short squeeze and gamma squeeze. So that is very important to understand what the hedge funds, institutions, and the large money is doing with their positions. As far as the short interest owners, we have not seen a lot of this be updated. We only seen one actual 13F filing come out, and that was yesterday, July 20th. We seen one 2 days ago on July 19th. Both of these were for puts. But other than that, we are seeing this increase as well, which we're going to have to see the shorts increasing on their 13F filings. We're also going to have to see the hedge funds and institutions increasing their positions or loading up on their positions, whatever they're doing on the 13F filings as well, because this will ultimately, like it did come down to the first time and the second time around, it will be hedge funds versus hedge funds. Some of these hedge funds are going to agree with apes and are going to buy the stock. Some of them are obviously going to short the stock. So I think this is getting somewhat personal at this point between hedge funds and other hedge funds. Now, they're in this to make money, so this is exactly what we expect, and this is great news for anybody that is playing the short squeeze in AMC stock. So the main point of this video was to highlight the fact that hedge funds and institutions are very bullish, and there's a high bullish sentiment around AMC stock at the current moment, as well as you do see shorts that are continuing to short the stock via their 13F filings, and this is ultimately a great thing on both sides. You want to see hedge funds, institutions buying the stock. You also want to see more shorts shorting the stock. So this is ultimately a hedge fund versus hedge fund situation. Also, the Citadel information that was provided in this video is very insightful as well, that they actually have a large long position as far as calls are concerned. They also have a large short position. As we do know, their short position is larger than their long position, so ultimately they will still be forced to cover, as well as every other short in AMC stock. So that is going to wrap up this video. If you guys like the video and you want more videos like this, make sure to hit that like button, consider subscribing to the channel. Also, let me know down below in the comment section, like I said, what your position size is and what your plan to do with AMC stock is. Also, if you guys want to get totally free stock in about 3 minutes time with no deposit necessary and no need to link a bank account, also public, that is the link in the description. They do not route your order flows to companies like Citadel. Your orders go straight to the lit exchanges, so you help take money out of Citadel's pocket, ultimately help them to have to cover their shorts in a faster time frame. Also, if you guys want to be notified in real time every time a trade is made in AMC or any other stock, whether it's a day trade, swing trade, or longer term investment in stocks, options, or crypto, check that link out for the buy and sellers. But all those links are linked in the description. Until then, I will see you guys in the next video.